I call it India's trilateral problem. India's trilateral problem. Three issues: Gita versus Constitution versus Bharat Mata Ki Jai Ho. Three separate issues which needs to be understood by people properly to avoid problems and unnecessarily quarrels. Is lack of knowledge, which is a source of problem. Not understanding the truth is a source of problems in India. Truth is covered up completely in India. Indians need to wake up. The truth in Gita is completely covered up. And until and unless they understand this central tenet of what I am saying, they will not understand Gita. So, in a nutshell, Gita can be summarized into two aspects. One is a religious aspect, and the other is a spiritual aspect. The religious Gita, which I call the scripture of 18 chapters, is a completely corrupt and mixed up event, completely corrupted. Corruption comes from addition by different writers over a period of times. Many different things have been added on in Gita, which takes the shape of completely different Gita from the original Gita. If you read Gita, you will not understand God's central message in Gita, which is completely covered up. God's central message in Gita is completely covered up. The spiritual Gita is all about consciousness and Atma, about consciousness and Atma. Not knowing who I am, not knowing who am I or who I am, not knowing where I come from, and not knowing who has made me. These three key questions are completely covered up in Gita. And this is why Creator, whom I have met, exposes all the lies which have been prevalent in Indian scriptures, particularly Gita. The most important thing which Indians don't understand in Gita is the maker of Atma is different from Atma itself. The maker of Atma is different from Atma itself. That's the question you need to ask. Who is the maker of Atma? God is completely mixed up in Gita. That is another important point to mention. Completely mixed up in Gita. Krishna is different from God. Krishna is different from God. The spiritual Gita, Indians will never understand that God does not have a physical body. God does not have a physical body. It is God and Shiva who come inside Krishna and reveal new knowledge. This is completely covered up in Gita. If you read Gita, you'll never understand this beautiful message which I'm revealing here. Constitution, the second part of the trilateral problem of India. India has an excellent constitution written by Dr. Ambedkar. Constitution of India is excellent. Yet Dr. Ambedkar was against Gita. Such a learned man, why was he against Gita? He felt Gita divided India. He felt Gita divided India. Two messages by God in Gita. What are they? What are they? You see, if you read Gita, like Dr. Ambedkar, if you read it, or if you had read Gita, you would never understand the two messages of God in Gita. What are they? That's a tragedy for India. True Gita is completely different. What Dr. Ambedkar did not know is that four varnas which was not made by God. It was not made by God. It was done by Shivji, who forms the religions of India. Religions of India are made by Shivji, and the four Varnas which talk about the division which Dr. Ambedkar mentioned of Shudra, Banya, Kshatriya, and Brahmin. Really speaking, there should not be any division at all, but it's a religious divide according to duties. But again, this is a mixed up event. God does not divide. Finally, Bharat Mata Ki Jai is a separate subject and video, as Indians do not have the depth of knowledge of India's female hierarchy and the serious corruption which is prevalent in the India's female hierarchy. This is a separate subject, and there's more depth to it, which people need to understand. So until and unless people understand the three tiers, major tiers of India's functionality, they will always have confusion. They will always agree to disagree. And there will be divisions and quarrels when really opposite should be the case. There should be peace. All these and much more are clarified by Creator and God in this life. These are the two beautiful entities or energies I'd searched for and found them, which formed my epic journey. There's a lot more knowledge to be revealed, but that will come as we go along in subsequent videos. Thank you very much for listening. Good day and God bless.